there, welcome. Welcome to Home Keepers. How are you today, my friend? I hope everything is going really, really good for you. And I want to welcome you. If you've never seen the program before, it's called Home Keepers. And we like to talk about the things that will improve and enhance your home. And that's just about any topic you can think of. And I know we've got some brand new viewers out there today. Thank you. Just stay with us, okay? And visit us often. And of course, the regular viewers, God bless you for everything you do, all your prayers, all the ways you support us. We really, truly, truly appreciate you. Today we're talking with Dr. Jason Manikonda, an MD who has written How to Overcome Diabetes Naturally. And I just want to say, if there's any doctors watching, you need this book. Anybody in the healthcare system, you need this book. And if you have diabetes, for heaven's sakes, wait for that website to come up so you can order it. And I say this because it's not real academic. It is a handbook for diabetes, and I know what I'm talking about because I have a child with diabetes, and this is, the doctor has covered just about everything you would want to know and things that could really help you because it is a huge epidemic. We will talk to him about that. Okay, I've been joined here by Dr. Manikonda. I think that's right. I'm going to call him Dr. J. Is that okay?
That's better.
Did I say it right?
Manikonda, like anaconda, yeah.
Oh, okay. Not too. I've done much worse.
Okay. No, you didn't.
Welcome. And also, we did have your sister on not too long ago. I want to thank her, and she's the one that made this contact.
She did, and she sends her regards, as I said, and she wanted to send some food with, I said, you know, not today.
Yeah, she did some cooking, some Indian food, and boy, it was good.
Yeah.
It had about 100 spices in it.
Oh, yeah.
That's the way it goes.
She's good at that.
And your book, I can't tell you how impressed I am with it. Overcoming Diabetes Naturally. It's close to my heart because I have a child with juvenile onset, which is the worst.
Definitely.
But the statistics for the type 2 are staggering, are they not?
Well, actually, diabetes is an epidemic today. 6 people die of diabetes-related complications every minute.
Every minute.
That's pretty astounding.
I would say that's probably higher than anything, isn't it? Or
because there's so
heart?
many complications related to the disease. That's what it is. Affects your eyes, to your kidneys, you know, all the way to your toes. I mean, foot amputations, the #1 reason for foot amputations beside accidental cause is diabetes. So we're at a critical stage.
How'd you happen to get so interested in this one area? Because you are an MD.
I'm an MD. To be honest with you, I started the book and it was for weight loss and body sculpting because
They sell.
I'm into, yes, and I'm into weightlifting and I used to do a lot of weight training and stuff. So I thought, you know, hey, I'll write a book about weight loss, but then what's astounding is that I met a gentleman in my building and he kept telling me I have diabetes and I'm going to see my doctor, and he would just say that to me while I would pass him in the elevator, and I said, why is this gentleman telling me this? I have no idea. And I guess it was a message from God to, you know, hey, you know, you need to do something substantial with your life instead of writing another weight loss and body sculpting book, which, what are they like?
I would say that's more substantial.
500 million books out there. And so I gave him this simple treatment. To be honest with you, I didn't give him the treatment at first. I was kind of apprehensive at first. I told him, look, well, great, go see your doctor and have a nice day. But he kept telling me that he was having dizzy spells and he was fainting at work and it was kind of interfering with his work. And I thought, I guess it would.
Yeah. Faint once in a while.
And so, but I gave him this simple treatment and I was amazed at the results.
What was the treatment?
It was a cinnamon tea mix.
You're kidding.
As simple as that. And some exercise. He did have peripheral vascular disease. Okay, so you have something called orthostatic hypertension, which develops, and you know how when you get up suddenly you feel dizzy? Something related to that. So give him the simple exercise. And in a month when he saw his doctor, he said, whatever you're doing, keep doing. I said to myself, well, you know what, maybe I should, invest in something that's, going to help people, because as you know, my dad is a missionary doctor, and he always instilled in us that, hey, you know what, helping people is more important than raking in the dollars. So I said, okay, you know
Dear
what,
old
I will.
Dad.
Yeah. So it kicked in. I did resist for a long time, though. I did resist Dad's teachings for a while, but eventually they did kick in, and I did go into research, and I did 5 years of research on this book, and these are my research findings, and the results have really been amazing. And I tell people, look, it's not only for people who have diabetes, it's for anyone who wants to stay healthy naturally and lose weight and prevent disease. Why? Because diabetics are people too. They have the same issues you have: what to eat, what not to eat, when to exercise. And the part I am proud of, and if you notice, the exercise section is almost as long as the, half the size of the book, because as I said, I'm into personal training and weight training. So, it just gives you a overall A to Z on how to live healthy, and how to prevent disease, and weight loss is very important, because diabetes is caused by,
You're right, it is an epidemic.
Yeah.
We're going to get the website up right away, and you can get the book through that. We'll leave it up for the rest of the program. But as I mentioned at the top of the program, this is not a real, academic doctor's book. This is for the layperson. However, the way I see it, a doctor could keep a bunch of these in his office, and if somebody comes in and they diagnose diabetes, he could save himself a lot of time by just saying, read this.
Exactly, because doctors
you cover things that
doctors
it would
don't
be
have.
impossible for a doctor to cover.
It would take them hours, and doctors don't have the time. They spend between 5 to 10 minutes with a patient, and this covers foot complications to
Well, diabetes the person needs a real education, because it's something you're going to manage.
A broad understanding, because it affects every organ in your body, and it's devastating. And as you know personally, because your son is diabetic, the complications involved with the disease. So I say go to the website stayhealthymd.com and order the book.
Yeah, it's up there. Now you name 10 countries with the highest incidence of. I'm not going to ask you to name them.
No, but
is there a pattern?
There is a pattern. 10, 20 years ago, India, Africa, these countries were not on the list. Now they are, because of
America brought in Kentucky Fried Chicken.
They actually have a lot of McDonald's there now.
McDonald's.
Yes, they do. And that's the culprit. And also, I guess in those countries, they were eating fresh fruits and vegetables. Now, I guess everything is frozen. They have frozen and boxed. So the number one reason for diabetes is chemical additives and preservatives in food. Definitely.
Oh, really?
Definitely, definitely, without a doubt. When people, just to give you an idea, your son is type 1. I treated a young man who's 21 years old, and he was diagnosed at 5. I guess he was around 5 or 6 years old. Always been on insulin. He told me, look, I want to get off this insulin. I have a girlfriend now. It's not working for me. And so I sympathized with him, and I said, I understand what you're going through, because, hey, that's not something you want to be doing in front of a girl, especially in that.
Lots of needles.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I showed him how to exercise. Weight-bearing exercise is key. And number 2, I put him on a simple treatment. One of the treatments from my book has over 20 different natural treatments. Just one of those treatments took him off insulin. And he was
type 1?
Exactly.
I've never heard of that.
It's amazing.
Unless it was a divine healing of some kind.
Type 1 and type 2 are manageable with diet and exercise. Believe it or not. All you have to do is lose the abdominal fat, which disrupts everything. It produces a hormone called cortisol, which disrupts normal body function. So imagine that. If you reduce your body fat, anything 10 pounds over your normal body weight can trigger diabetes. So if you get your abdominal fat, which is the key
Yeah, I keep
culprit.
hearing about that.
Yes, because
And it's a hormonal thing.
yes,
right?
ma'am. It produces a hormone called cortisol. Imagine a hormone that goes and disrupts every other hormone in the body and doesn't let it do its job. So, you know, we also developed a multivitamin called NutriTotal for people who don't have time to eat healthy. And NutriTotal can be purchased at my website, stayhealthymd.com. But the thing about this particular vitamin is that it has 211 all-natural ingredients in it. So
I didn't know there were that many out there.
exactly, and it's so natural that you have to put it in the fridge after you open it.
No
I don't
preservatives.
believe in preservatives at all. And it's a liquid vitamin, which, as you know, has an 80% better absorption rate than solid pills.
yeah.
So
Let's talk a little bit about the two types. The type 1 means the pancreas it's not working.
the pancreas is not working.
Type
and usually,
2
and that means they usually have to take insulin.
Yeah.
Type 2 means insulin resistance in the cells. Now, so usually most people's progression to diabetes is usually type 2, then type 1. So what does that mean? Type 2, the cells are insulin resistant. That means they no longer recognize insulin, so they don't allow it to open the doors, which allow glucose to enter the cells, which is the main source of energy, which comes from carbohydrates.
So what can you
Do you know the cells literally starve?
Really?
Yes, that's why you have all these complications. So they're starving in your eyes, in your kidneys. I mean, it's amazing that people are actually able to live.
Yeah, they still function.
Yeah, but we have other sources. So we have amino acids and fatty acids. So they get energy from those sources, which is great. But at the end of the day, what causes...
Doesn't fix it.
Yeah, what causes insulin resistance? Now, you can take medications, but guess what? It brings down your levels, but it only treats the symptoms. The underlying cause still remains. My treatment plan, it addresses the underlying causes, and you know what? Puts an end to it. Number 1, chemical additives and preservatives. They cause havoc on your cells.
Does that include non-organic fruits and vegetables?
Do you know strawberries have up to 50 to 60 different pesticides? And
I don't want to know that.
Well, this is the world we live in.
Yeah,
And
it
we've made a trade with the devil, basically, for
You're right.
convenience, and nobody wants to walk anymore. We take escalators, go up and down, and transport us across. You know, it's in airports now. You don't even have to walk; they just shuttle you across. So, hey, physical activity is down. So you know, we're like cattle. They're herding us back and forth, and nobody has time to prepare home-cooked meals.
Right.
Nobody's getting the nutrition they need. I mean, there's something called, I recommend the rainbow diet, and we probably don't have much time, but the rainbow diet and the seasonal diet. Rainbow diet is foods that are in
The color?
the color of the rainbows. So green color foods have anti-cancer properties. Orange and red have, you know, properties that are awesome for your eyes, and they fortify your nervous system, and you know.
And seasonal is whatever's growing that season?
Why? Because they're
God said
fresh.
so.
Because they're fresh, and they're not transported in trucks for months and years over the ship. So
Oh,
guess
boy.
what? You're getting all the nutrients. So I say do the seasonal diet, and you will see that. You know, for me, when people come to me and they say, "Look, I have diabetes," you know what? Go back to old school, natural. That's it. That's all I say to them. Go back to old school. Try natural foods, and you'll see a difference.
Here's
and it's
one you
amazing.
might want to use. This old preacher once said, "You're made out of dirt, so you need to eat the things that come out of the dirt."
Exactly.
There you
And,
go.
and
Okay.
plastic doesn't come out of dirt now, does it?
No, it doesn't. You talk in the book about medication-related deaths,
Right.
and you put them at 120,000. Is that per year?
Per year, yeah.
And that doesn't include the illicit use of the drug.
Exactly.
What this 120,000 is
Just
what the doctors
accident-
are prescribing.
Just, yeah, they're, people just don't understand medication, and some of them conflict with other medications you're taking or diet, and people just die of overdose, or just you've heard of people just taking medication. I mean, because the jars look so similar. You know, you're half asleep. You know, oh my God, I got to take my medication, and you take one of those, and yeah, it's really sad. These are poisoning. These are poisons that people are putting into their bodies, and at the end of the day, I tell people, look, I know it's harder to do, you know, go the natural route.
What you're doing, yeah.
But you know what? At the end of the day, what are you going to do with the money? You know, hire someone to cook for you, because guess what? If you're dead, you can't do anything.
Also, you're spending that much on the medication probably.
Exactly.
But on this show, we've pointed out over and over, because I have a health expert on once a month.
Right.
And that is, listen, because when you are watching a 30-minute program on TV, there's probably 2 pharmaceutical ads within 30 minutes. And those are 30-second ads. The longest ones are 30 seconds. More time is spent telling you the side effects of that drug. So get your vision away from the people who are skipping down the beach and riding their bicycles, and listen. And the first one is always, every time, forever, the liver.
Exactly.
Those things kill your liver.
Do you know most medications come with a paper insert inside, and if you take it out, the sheet actually, and it's so funny how the sheet is really small, but when you open it, it turns out to be 3 feet long.
And it's the tiniest print. You have to get a magnifying glass to read it. So wake up, folks.
Exactly, but it is important, and you know, the all-natural approach always work, and that's what God intended us, you know, for us to do. So I think really, you know, go back to old school. That's what I tell people.
Yep, back to the garden. You have 6.
Well, you just need to blink those twice, and that's 6 there. So.
6 steps to better management. Right. Lose weight, exercise daily, monitor your diet and blood glucose levels, take medication on time, and follow the treatment plan precisely.
Exactly.
Because there are type 2 diabetics. Most of them are on medication, and they need to not go off of those until they, you know, they bring these other levels a little bit into more of a normalcy.
Exactly. So what most people do is they come to me when they have maybe their blood sugar is maybe 150, they need to bring it down. Even on medication, their levels are still high. So I put them on this treatment plan. As it goes down, you go to your doctor and say, hey, look, I'm much better than I was, and he'll taper your medication, and that's the key. But I just want to specify that when I say exercise, I have to stress weight-bearing exercise. You have to do weights. I don't care if you're 60, 80 years old, you need to pick up those dumbbells and do weight-bearing. That's what it is. You'll prevent osteoporosis, because without weight-bearing exercise, the calcium doesn't get absorbed. So all those pills you're taking, sorry.
And you know, when I read your 6 steps here, this isn't rocket science.
No, it's not.
What do they say? 21 days a habit is established.
That's right. That's right.
That should be a piece of cake. You know, you have to, if you have an inclination toward laziness, you're going to have to say, I have to. See, my son, besides taking insulin, he probably takes 20 pills a day for that kidney to not reject. And he has to do that. I mean, it's built into his schedule. You know,
and it's
you
a
just
horrible lifestyle. And it's a horrible lifestyle.
But he loves life, so.
Yeah, and the key to that is, you know, and I go into that in my book, where steps for change, which I believe is very important. And my book covers that also, because you don't want to leave people hanging. Hey, how do you achieve your goals? Hey, go to the book, and I'll give you steps for change. And it works. You know, these are simple steps everyone can apply. And, you know, it'll help your condition,
Just do it.
Yeah, just give it a try, because most people are, you know what the problem is? Most people are scared of change. And I tell them, look, small steps. If I told you, clear this room full of bricks, you would be afraid. But if I say 1 brick at a time, you would do it in a day.
But you know, Americans are such babies. I just say, get with it. We're so afraid of offending somebody with 1 word, whatever.
Exactly.
This is something you need to do if you want to be healthy. If you want to be healthy, you'll do it, right?
Well, if you want to save your life and you want to see your grandkids which I think is
and
a good
avoid amputations and blindness.
which
and
I think is a
things.
which I think is a good incentive,
It's a
right?
motivator.
You want to be able to see your grandkids. So.
We only have just a minute or so left.
Yes.
You talk about sleep apnea. Is that part of the diabetes experience too?
It's also related to excess weight, really. A lot of people who are overweight have sleep apnea. So guess what? You get rid of that abdominal fat, you're going to be sleeping a lot better. And also you might want to try my vitamin, because a lady came to me and said she has trouble sleeping. And she tried the vitamin and she said, I've never slept better in my life. And one of the benefits was that she went to her physician and her blood pressure had dropped by 30 points. And she said, was there something in the vitamin? And I said, absolutely. So definitely give it a try, yeah.
Yeah, we have just a few seconds here, but
Yes.
You recommend 1,000 to 1,400 calories a day. That's probably way beneath what Americans eat.
Well, if you eat 3 meals a day, 350 calories a day, and then a snack, which is an apple, a handful of nuts, the key is the snack. If you have the snack in between the meals, guess what? Sustains even energy levels throughout the day, and you will not binge. Guaranteed you will lose the weight. So try my treatment
So the
plan.
snack is an apple instead of a brownie. That's
Exactly, and a handful of nuts. Handful of nuts are awesome. So
yeah.
great.
I do that sometimes. Well, I hope you got that website down and that you know a lot of people. This would be a good gift for someone who has diabetes. Hope you'll tend to that. And I thank you so much for being with us today. It's a delight to bring this good information to you. I mean, we want to do anything we can to help you in any way. And of course, health is very, very important. And please, please join me next time, remembering there's no higher calling than that of a homekeeper. God bless you.